Okay, so now you should have done your brainstorming and you know exactly which images you're going to be looking for so that you can make your cards. So basically there's three ways to do this. You can take your own photographs, you can draw your own pictures, or you can source the images from the internet. So I'll go through each one and explain where and when you should be using each. So first up is using your own photographs. Now this is great because obviously you own the pictures and you can do what the heck you like with them. As you can see here, I've got cards that I made using the geometric solids. I already had the equipment so I could take the photographs. Now taking your own pictures, you don't need any really fancy equipment or anything. I do have a light tent, but it's a bit of a faff to put up, so I don't use it that often really. It was more for product photos. So when I'm making cards, this is my usual setup. So as you can see, I've got a roll of white paper. It's just normal kind of thickish paper in a roll. Taped that to the window and then rolled it out and taped it to the table. So what you really need is good natural light. And you don't want direct sunlight because that's going to give you harsh shadows on your subject matter. So I know in the morning I get good light for this spot, but I wouldn't be able to take good photographs in the afternoon because they get the direct sun. So make sure you've got plenty of natural light. If you do it in the evening or at night and you're using electric lights, you're going to get a weird kind of coloration on your pictures. So I really recommend finding a nice bright window where you can set up and do your pictures from there. And then as you can see, the photos, they're not 100% professional, but at the end of the day, you know, who's going to be judging them? So it's quite an easy setup to do. And these are great if you're doing things like, if you've got those sets of tubes that have got different animals in. I know they do like Antarctica, for example. So you could take a photograph of each one of the animals and then you can have your own cards, and then your cards match your actual physical toy as well. So this is great for anything that, you know, if your child's got a collection of something, rocks and stones or shells, or if it's something that's perhaps a bit unique to your end of the world, you know, that's another great time to be able to take your own photographs and use your own pictures. Okay, the second setup is drawing your own pictures. So I imagine there's going to be some people cringing at the thought of drawing their own images, but this is really good for the parts of something cards, you know, like parts of animal, parts of plants, you know, parts of cars. So all you really need to do is draw one image. You just need the one picture, and then you scan it in, or you could photograph it and upload it and then drop it into the file. And then once you've got the one image, all you need to do then is to colour each section in red. So as you can see, I hand coloured these because it's actually easier to do by hand than messing around on the computer and do it. It's quicker to do it by hand. So you just need the one image, and then you duplicate it in the whole file and then colour it in as needed. So that's fairly straightforward and easy too. Not so straightforward if you're not so great at drawing, but maybe you could enlist the help of somebody you know who can draw. And then finally is sourcing your photographs from the internet. So this means going onto Google and finding images, and I'll go more into that in a minute. One of the things that grates me is that I really like cards that have got continuity. So I hate it when I see cards that the images are different sizes, or you know, the resolution's different, or a different style of photography throughout the card set. And I know that's just being me picky really, but part of what drew me to Montessori was the fact that they're very into things being beautiful, and that goes as far as the cards, as far as I'm concerned. Okay, so now we will go and look at Google. Okay, so another way to find your images is to use the Google. And so you need Google Images and then just type in the keyword. So we're going to look for chicken. Now, one thing that's really important is that you can't just go picking images off the internet because you don't own them. Somebody owns each image, and by using their image without permission, you're breaking copyright rules. And I think if you're just using it and you're going to pull the image off and you're only going to use it in your home with your family, then really it doesn't matter. Because you're not sharing it with anyone, you're not distributing it, you're not really breaking any rules. If you plan to share the file when you're finished with it, whether it be with your school or with other parents or on your blog, then you need to be really, really careful on the images that you choose. You need to find ones that are copyright free. So what we'll do first is go to the search tools and look under usage rights. So you can use these and modify them. These are just labelled for reuse, non-commercial use. So non-commercial reuse means you can use them and you can share them, or you can use them on your blog or something, as long as you're not making any money out of it. So if you are planning to sell cards, then you really need to go to a stock image company and find one of the stock companies that will allow you to distribute cards or distribute their images in digital format. And to be honest, a lot of them don't do it at a accessible level. So one image will be like $8,000 or something ridiculous. So you really need to be very, very careful, because basically you're stealing if you're taking somebody's image and you haven't paid for it and then you're distributing it and making money out of it. But I set up this program just to show you how to make cards for yourself in your home. So, as long as you're doing that, you haven't really got anything to worry about. So we'll just go for this one. Right, and the next thing is the size. So you want large. If you use a smaller size and then enlarge it when you get into Canva, then you're going to get a pixelated image and it's going to look horrible. So if you go for a bigger size from the first place, you've got no problems. And if you scroll your mouse over an image, it tells you the size in the bottom corner here. So this is 1116 by 837 pixels, which is a good size. So have a look. If you find an image and it's Wikimedia Commons, it usually means that it's free to use anyway. So I tend to try and find Wiki Commons images because I know that they're safe, sort of thing. So let's have this one. So if you click on the image, and then you can go to View Image. And I'm on a Mac, so I can just drag and drop it onto the desktop. I don't really know how you do it on a Windows machine, I'm sorry. Right click, maybe. And so we've got a chicken, now we want a chick. And the other thing is to try and find an image that's got plenty of space around it, because that will give you more room to play with when you're trying to place it into the document. That's a cute one, isn't it? So the other way you can find images on the internet is by using stock photo websites. And there are a load of these. If you just go to Google and put in stock photos, it'll throw up a big pile of them. Now, a lot of these sites you have to pay for the images, or you pay for a month, or you pay per image. They have different rules and different payment schemes. And you might not want to pay for any at all. Or it might be cheaper for you to go and buy some pre-made cards rather than buying the images. If you do intend to sell the cards that you're making, you do have to read the rules and regulations, because you don't want to be breaking any laws. A lot of them are quite strict on how you distribute the image once you've bought it, so distributing it as a electronic file like a PDF goes against their regulations. So if you're not sure, drop them an email and find out, and they'll tell you one way or the other whether you can do it. So this is kind of a generic site. Some of them have a thing where you can get, I don't know, 10 images free when you first sign up or something. There are some where you can sign up and you can download as many images as you like for 30 days for whatever price. That's quite good to do if you make a big list of the photos that you need and you already have an idea of what you want, so that you can get your money's worth, sort of thing. So do have a look. Obviously the quality of the images are much better on these stock photo sites. One that I use quite often is Free Photos, freedigitalphotos.net, and I'll put all the links below. So this one's quite nice. You can use the smallest image for free. So let's just run through. If you put in, say, fruit, and it'll throw up all the different fruit. Let's get this kumquat's quite nice. So what you can do is get the smallest version free, which is a reasonable size to make cards with, and then you need to attribute. But if you're using it for yourself, obviously you don't need to do that because you're going to cut the card out anyway. And then if you want to buy, bigger size, obviously it's going to cost you $5 or whatever. But this site has quite a large range of photos and ones that you can get for free anyway. And the other one I like is Morgfile, and I like this one for images. Say if we're going to be studying a country, so let's, I don't know, Brazil. It's got lots of high quality, beautiful images, and obviously you can just pick out the ones which would suit your files. So I'll put the link for this as well. So that's just another option, is to use the stock photo sites. Right, once you've got all your photos together, keep them in little files or keep them on your desktop or whatever. Make sure they're nicely organised, and you can move on to the next lesson.